Howdy, Bart here, and welcome. Yeah, seems that Streamlabs didn't think I was actually online. Yes, stop blinking. I get it. You're there. All right. The hell's that doing there? Oh, yeah, I had disabled the damage on those temporarily until I finish the other stuff. Um, yep. So status update for those of you who follow on Discord know that I just had some dental work done, and yeah, it's good and bad. May actually have a cracked jaw from the procedure. Got some swelling on the right side, not where the tooth was. Actually, had a tooth pulled. Um, so we'll see how that goes over the next couple of days. Um, so with the swelling, it's even more difficult for me to talk than normal, which is, yeah. Um, holy shit, speckle. Where the hell these guys come from? I don't have any particle effects in this project yet. Um, I figured if you're gonna have a Minecraft themed event room, then might as well have some TNT, right? I'll make the damage available to it here again soon. I was having some problems with it. Whenever I initially had it set up, they would fall from the sky, and I still got to tweak the setup just because I didn't do the math right. Some are still popping up out here. I'd be surprised if some weren't popping up out here. Um, just with my mixed up math. But essentially, what it is created a single spawner that picked a random location. Let's just throw it into the map, and you could set the minimum and maximum of the X and Y. I'll explain why I didn't do the Z here again in just a minute, but the respawn rate and the lifespan. So if they don't get triggered and blow up, they automatically just go away. So you just drop it on the map. This is actually my main project, Stream Party. So again, you'll have to bear with my rough talking because I have probably a cracked jaw from dental work. But I'm trying to get good about not missing my scheduled Monday, Wednesday, and Friday streams. And pain and discomfort or not, I'm at least going to try. Mm. Eating is still sketchy, but yeah, with having the spawner, I mean, all you do is just drop it into the map, and it does its thing. In fact, let me change maps. So the spawner, you drop it into the map, and I've got to redo the math. It didn't pop into my head. I actually have not been as coherent as I have of late. Um, as you can tell, messing up my words here and there. But essentially, you're just gonna spawn it instead of lifespan. But the math I got to rework. Essentially, was getting the location of where you're at. I forgot to add that in the first time, so it was still basing everything off of 000 location, and that wasn't working. So um, what I'm getting it to do is get a random float in range and plugging that into a make vector node, and then into the make transform. Sorry, it's gonna bug me if I don't move this over. But with the random floating range, setting a minimum and a maximum that you can actually change here once you put it in the map. So you can have more than one spawner and just set the rates at different rates. But with this one right here, there's another way of doing this. I couldn't remember how to do it. Where you actually put a volume in, and you can size the volume as large as you want, and it'll pick a spot anywhere within that volume to do the spawning. But I wanted to try something different. With the delay, basically you're just running this custom event, running a delay, and looping back around. So you can set a minimum and maximum rate of which it will pick from that random range, and you can set it from 1 second to 1 year. I mean, whatever, but that just plugs into there for your delay, and then setting up the random floating range for the minimum and maximum of the X and the Y. The reason why I didn't do the Z was whenever I set it up to fall, and whenever it spawns, which I can probably go back into the blueprint and take out the ability for it to have collision or to be knocked over. There's no point in being able to move it around if you're not dropping it. But what was happening was, even though they're working perfectly fine right now, you get close enough to it, you get these are modified textures and sounds from Minecraft. So what was happening is whenever they were falling from the sky, it just seems like there was only a 30% chance it would actually work. It looks so much better once I put some particle effects on it. But you can see they just keep popping up in random locations. It was cool when they were falling, but it was like 30% of the time they would actually explode. And that's just no bueno. The actual TNT itself, now I've got to redo the damage on it, and I can go ahead and plug that in now, but it plays off the sound of the fuse whenever you step into the box collision. We're on the 3 second delay, which is about the time for the fuse sound, which we can change that to 2.8. Then it plays the explosion cube, which has actually got 4 different sounds in it. Then applies damage, and keep bouncing back and forth between test projects trying to make sure I'm getting things working correctly. If anybody wants these Minecraft textures, let me know. I'll put them on Discord. These are ones that I put together. In the player, I don't think I did an event in any damage. That's for the tranquilizer darts. I really had to get in here and clean this blueprint up. It's looking pretty nasty. That's the hats. The admin stuff, I still need to finish rebuilding the admin phone. This is part of my death functionality. It's a lot just for death. But since you get 3 different teams, this is going to be changed again to suit the other arena, which if you're in infection mode, what happens is you're either going to be on team 1 or team 2, or a red team and green team. And let's actually change maps back. So where you're actually dead blood. And of course, this is just the building things into functionality first before I start adding in the real assets. So it's just going to be on the Battle Royale demo that I've got. You can do solo, dual, or quads. But the idea of this is, you see the scoreboard there, and these are placeholder buildings just for this arena. They will change to be like little small towns or whatever. The point of infection mode is the infected versus the cured or the healed, or the normal. And instead of killing each other, the infected are trying to infect the normal people, and the normal people are trying to cure the infected. And let's just say that you cure somebody who's infected, they essentially die and then respawn, and then respawn onto the new team. And still working through some bugs, but like I said, this dental work has had me unable to really do any quality work, if you can call it quality. But yeah, the scoreboard updates based on how many people are on each team, not on how many kills or deaths or anything like that. So, a real basic scoreboard for now. I'm going to be revamping the entire scoreboard mechanism so that either I can have this one dedicated just for this mode and another one for another mode, or have a dedicated one scoreboard that I can actually use. And once I pop it into the scene, it'll automatically work based on what's going on. Probably just do separate, but so the goal of um, doing the infected mode is that you'll go in and you'll start like 5 versus 5 or 10 versus 10, and it's last team standing. When there's no infected left or there's no healed, cured left, I still don't have a good name for the normal side, but when basically there's nobody left on the other team, because when you die or you get infected, you then go to the other team. So it's tug of war back and forth trying to eliminate everybody on the other team and pull them to your team. So when there's nobody left on your team, then your team loses. And later on, what'll happen is instead of this going directly into the map and just free play, it'll actually be a staged section or take you to a mini lobby. And whenever there's X number of people in that lobby, it can then launch. Um, I did add in just a test feature to remove health. You can see it took me down to 50 health. And then the medic. The whole point of the medic is to actually have, if you leave the arena, the event ends or whatever, and your health is half or whatever, you can just run over here and do that. The prison cell, it still works fine. And the admin, like I said, the admin panel is going to be completely redone. Um, I did add it so that if you're on duty, and right now only the host can go on duty, but you must be off duty to go into the arena. So all placeholder widgets and everything else. Since this isn't done yet, want to get kind of a general consensus on what people think about doing themed rooms like this. Now, this room can have multiple different modes or whatever else. It could be bigger, it could be smaller, it could be whatever. But the point being is this room can be anywhere. These are all just sitting next to each other, but it could be a mile that way and not load until like the lobby room for this room could be wherever, and then go in. But what kind of combat would you want in there? I mean, would you want? I'm trying to come up with a good mix of non-violent and, of course, I like violence, but non-violent-ish type game modes that are tongue-in-cheek and just for the pure humor of things, like having the TNT blocks dropping randomly around the map, and taking a chunk of your health away. The player phone, I moved it to the Q key for now. The tab key was just not working the way that I wanted it to. So you can still right click and mouse around, or left click and mouse around. So you can pan your character around while you're in the phone mode. Um, I like the most. I like survival crafting games. But I play a mix of stuff, and I'm playing Astroneer. I play World of Warships. I play Ark, Conan. I'm looking at games that are actually based off of Unreal Engine. So right now the emotes are dances. I'm going to change this to where instead of it just saying default emote, it'll be default dance, and then you can have separate emotes as well. Um, so once you actually have your emote selected, hit the F key and it'll do it. Everything works in replication on this. And hit Q again to close your phone. F to stop dancing. And then we'll change that to montages so it'll actually work a little bit better. Gotta have a cowboy hat on before I can do that. Um, so the player phone itself is a way that you can actually come in first off for emotes and picking things like that. Um, Checking your bank balance, get 5 silver, 5 gold. Um, a quick screen for showing key bindings, things like that. Then we've got room to add more here. And if there's just too many icons, I can just add a new page, left or right. Then add in the date. So this is the correct time. And now, see, it's 21:20. That's in 24-hour time. If you don't want 24-hour time, I could add a button in there to let you switch or let you select. Um, the 24-hour time in the phone. Let's see here. So time, that is in set time. Yeah, see, I just got that way. But you can also drag off from that now node, and a couple different ways you can do it. You can break it down this way and show the year, month, day, hour, minute, second, milliseconds. Um, you can also do day of year. That'll show you like this is day number 65 of the year. Get hour 12, so you can do it in 12-hour time or 24-hour time. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to be playing around with some other event schedulers for the admin panel so that you can actually set up an event. February 14th, Valentine's Day. Um, can have it play random things or do random events based on the actual day of the year. Um, I could set it on, build an alarm clock that allows you to set a timed alarm for whatever. There's so many things you can do with that time stuff. Go ahead and grab my hat again. I like the brown one. Uh, Club. Again, these are all placeholder buildings and crap like that until I get enough content in here where I think that it's worth saying, hey, we've got a good playable version. I'm trying to make things in here as scalable or workable, like the platform. If you get yellow with the gray base, but you can come in and select what mesh you want and what color for the base of the little rotisserie they're on. These guys are just drop-ins, but you can change the animation and the mesh. I don't think there's much else to cover. That I've been down because of this frickin' dental work. The save game thing. I just have to keep buying my hat every time I come in. save game wise, because of the nature of what the game is going to be, is Stream Party is targeted towards, hey, I'm a huge live streamer, as if, um, hey, Friday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do Stream Party. A way for me to celebrate just goofing off with my viewers. Um, One of the questions that came up was, what is a population limit? Well, if you're hosting, it's a server, a peer-to-peer based hosting, and it'll allow up to 100 connections, but it's really going to task out the computer of whoever. But it's using Steam's matchmaking. But still, I think if you got 100 people connected, it's going to be a little on the rough side. The most I've had is about 5 or 6 people in at one time, and I had no problems with my crappy internet being a host. So, um, how do you select the people that are allowed to come in? Well, at some point there will be a dedicated server feature, but I had to decide what I wanted to keep persistent. So, if I go from the main menu, close up all the extra little stuff here, and look at this as from the start when you first log in. We'll do it as a standalone game. So what'll actually happen is you go to the main menu and you can do a basic setup on your character. And say, well, I'm the yellow character. If I want to be pink, purple, black, white, I usually keep the yellow, but for this, we'll show that it actually works. It'll be purple. Alright, so this is basically the only thing that gets saved into the save game. What actually is happening right now is that's a main menu character. It's not a real player that you actually use in the map. Well, it is, but only in this map. So it's changing the appearance of the character on the screen, and you can see it's actually a live character doing an idle animation. At some point, I'll do a animation cycle, so it'll loop through different animations and actually do stuff on the screen. Maybe if you click somewhere.
Work it, baby.
That's the other thing, is planning in Easter eggs. I'll add a little bit of extra music to the background of this as well, but just little dumb things to add in. Again, this is all stuff for entertainment purposes. It's not like a hardcore shooter or hardcore RPG or anything like that. It's a game targeted for spending an hour goofing off with friends, doing goofy things, just laughing and having a good time. But the reason why yeah, Easter eggs are vital for any game. This one I'll leave kind of obvious. No, I was just covering it because I was on the main page, but also wanted to ask, what do you guys think for do you want things going on in the background? Bots walking around, maybe people sitting down talking or whatever. What you guys will see in the background, because you can actually have a regular map and your character, you're not going to be moving your character, but what do you guys want to see from the main screen? The character editor again. So let's just say that I want to be a cheating little ass, and I go in here in the old admin panel. This is like version 3 of the admin panel, and this one still sucks. There was the ability to give yourself credits, gold and silver. and I could sit there and load up on gold and silver and everything else. And if it went to the save game, so now whenever I go back to the main menu and go to multiplayer and find a game, find a lobby, and now I could join somebody else's lobby, and now I've already got all the money and all the gold and all the silver, and I can then buy everything. So I didn't keep money on the save game. The only thing that I kept persistent on the save game is the actual player model itself. And that's, you know, inconsequential, but, like I said, it's to prevent people from being able to do things like that. Plus, if it's a peer to peer instead of a dedicated server, then there was no need to have a persistent world. So it's just loaded up. Let's have some goofy fun. Hey, let's just go ahead and do the Minecraft mode. Go in there, and whether it's bomb run or try to make it from point A to point B, you know, put together a maze, and with TNT randomly spawning, if you run into a dead end, well, that dead end may not be blocked because of TNT in the way. Well, I mean, I can just hide from the TNT and go in the house. Oh crap, there's TNT in here. Um, so just I want people to have goofy fun. You know, let's go do Minecraft mode, or let's go do the infection mode, or let's go do you know little dumb things like a quick launch, like doing quick draw or scavenger hunts, or actually having combat arenas where it's hand-to-hand combat, swords, or regular weapons, modern weapons, cowboy weapons, whatever. Having all these different things available from inside of here to be able to launch into. And yes, this is very primitive looking because it's just a few little things. But the whole point is trying to get the basic functionality of, and that's why I wanted to go ahead and set up having at least two different main modes right now, so that there's at least two different things to do besides sit around. And yes, I know I gotta get in there and do the chairs. It would be so much easier for me to just load starter content or whatever, um, just so I can have a chair. But I will actually probably just make a chair. But I do need input from you guys on what you would like to see in Stream Party, um, how how you like to select players. Um, the thing is, you're not going to have, if you got a popular channel and you've got 2,000 people watching your stream, who do you pick to come in? So, gonna need to do password for the server, and then once you do that, you can say do your Discord channel and do ranks, things like that. You figure out how you get who you get to come in. You can just leave it open and first come first serve, that kind of stuff. Let's actually take the spawner out of here. Um, but what kind of game modes would you like to see? What kind of goofy stuff would you like to see? What would you like to see added to the phone, the admin tablet, things like that? Because only the I actually do two players here. Now, of course, you're going to be the same skin, but if I try to open up the admin panel on the client, it just won't work, just because they're not the host. And yeah, they don't see each other's skin correctly. I will confirm why that is, which I'll probably try to do that tonight. That should be something easy for me to break down and fix. Um, go to the phone. a freak. But yeah, I want some other suggestions on things to do. With the admin panel. Now, again, I'm on duty here. Can't send them to jail because there's no jail on the test map. But so much to do and so much time lost because of freaking dental problems. Like I said, I feel like I went 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. I feel like crap. Chair wise, so I'm just gonna come in here and build a temporary chair. I'm not gonna add any other assets other than just quick build stuff like this. It's too easy for me to get distracted. In other words, materials. And hell, I could make a Minecraft-based chair if I wanted to. Let's make a stone brick. I mean, I could make a TNT chair. Just for shits and grins. Oh. Better do it from the side. Then, your Minecraft blocks, the way the material worked out, perfect 100 by 100 by 100. That's bottom, there's top. Not that it really matters for the bottom, but zero it out. And since it is 100 in height, we need half of that, and that's perfect. So, to make this into a chair, all I'm going to do is just take and just notch out a section for your ass to sit in. Stone. Yeah, we'll try stone, see how that looks. Actually, let's do oak planks and see how it looks first. So, we'll create this, and we'll try for about 80 by 80, but only about 40. Change it to subtractive. Now, I don't have the sit down animation stuff put in here just yet. I'm sure we can set this. I need to take that phone call. Oh, he'll kill me if I don't answer him. That is my nephew who is in basic training right now, or AIT. So, yeah, that's a little low, but you know what? I can just adjust it by bringing it up a little bit. So it doesn't have to be perfect. But yeah, that'll be good enough for now. But yeah, all you're going to do is just grab the two of them together, create static mesh. If you don't see that, just expand out your brush settings. Assets folder, mesh. SM underscore TNT underscore chair. Then I should go to the actual, damn it, go, the actual mesh itself. And you can, I'm not going to get crazy with doing full custom on the collisions, but you can actually go in here if you want and create custom collisions for it. In this case, you collision, box simplified collision, but we can't keep that because what's going to happen is you won't be able to sit down on it. So scale grid. So you can actually resize the I just had a cube for a collision. It is going to be really hard for you guys to see. But yeah, you can actually scale your collisions, and that's turn off snapping this way. That's actually perfect. Now, if I wanted to be totally perfect, I would build another one that would just be for the sidearm, the back, and that kind of stuff. But you know what, that's going to work. And we need to change our light map resolution to at least 64 and light map coordinate index to 1. So now our chair actually has collision to it. And you can stand on the inside part. So wanted that chair to be available to actually sit in. But now if I just throw the mesh in there, that's going to happen, which is unfortunate. So what I'll probably end up doing is just doing an actual chair. I need to go through and do a lot of cleanup and organization. But I'll do a blueprint, actor, TNT underscore chair. We'll have to do all the functionality of the sit down stuff. But we'll cover that in this video. I'm actually going to get out of here in just a minute. Get our chair. Add the mesh. And you can see it's well below the line here. Probably could have fixed the that point beforehand. And undo. Turn on our snapping. Let's get rid of you, and I should throw the blueprint in the map. So I can do this. Make it a little bit bigger. Alright, so that way you can actually move it around. There we go. That way it's correct in the map. So just by placing it in, he's Army. He followed in my footsteps. I was Army, so he's Army. So proud of that boy. Doing something good with his life. Serving his country. Yeah, I'll set up the sit down and chair functionality later, but just wanted to have a starting point. Yeah, so I say I'm proud of him is because I wanted to blow shit up. I wanted to shoot machine guns and be Rambo. So I went infantry. 11 Bravo, 11 bang bang bitches. Yeah, and I just didn't give a shit, didn't think about it. What you do when you get out. what jobs are available for someone that knows how to blow shit up, shoot machine guns, um, and operate a high tech floor buffer. Yeah, you're either good for private security or janitorial service, is all you're qualified to do. So I kept preaching to them, if you're going to go into service, take a freaking skilled trade. 11 bang bangs, you know what? Somebody's got to be the grunt. Somebody's got to be the infantry. Got to be, somebody has to do it. Because without the infantry, you don't have much of the army. Wouldn't be an army without the infantry. It definitely needs all of its other support troops. Don't get me wrong, but the army is the infantry. That's the backbone of the army. The navy has their ships. Well, the army, those 11 bang bangs are the ships. They're your fighting tools. Well, they're a bunch of tools, that's for sure. We'll see. I was mech infantry in most of where I was. Hey, I had some really good friends that were cooks. Um, you know, being mech infantry, we were always exposed to armored personnel carriers, the 113s, the Bradleys, things like that. Uh, the mentality in the 80s was mechanized infantry, um, fast and mobile when shit wasn't broke down. Um, yeah, so I kept preaching to him, learn a skill, something that you will have a job once you get out of the friggin' service. And so he's in tech. I won't say exactly what, but the stuff he's learning will carry over into real life. So that's good. See, there's no collisions on the side. I didn't bother making that, but that was what, 30 seconds to make that simple chair. And then I'll set it up to where you hit the E key when you're standing in front of a chair. It'll turn you around and sit your butt in a chair. So I'm gonna get out of here. I need to call him back. And I'm hurting. I can't do much more talking right now. So you guys let me know in Discord what you want to see. What kind of features, what kind of other stuff. I'll try to get some work done on it whenever I can, but as it stands right now, I'm not as coherent as I should be to be trying to work on the functions of the game. So thank you guys for coming in and chatting with me. Um, I'll talk with you guys later, and yeah, chat with me on Discord. Hopefully by the Wednesday stream, I'll actually be able to do more and show more. So thanks, love you guys. See you later.